All right then, folks, for those of you that are just tuning in, welcome. This is the 2020 Travers Grand Prix. We've already had some great action on the water yesterday, not only on the water, but also on the shooting range. If you want to know how the shooting range ended up, came down to one last shot between Zane Nicholson and JT, and Zane Nicholson wins the prize for the best shot on the range, followed by Jonathan Travers, then Cole McCormick, and then Paul Koenig rounding off the top four. And all four of those actually went into a shoot-off. Those are shooters, 10 shots each, and on the dock we've got Wade and a special guest.
Hey, thanks, Tony. I'm here in the dock with John Travers and Alexander William Travers, the newest addition to the family. So, John, you've been multitasking all over the map, pro skiing, running businesses, now a dad.
Yeah, it's challenging. I got to put my hat off to my wife, Natalia, for sure, and my parents, my brother. But it's a lot of fun. It's a new chapter in life that everyone talks about, and I just got into it, and it's something that's amazing. And if you're thinking about it, do it. That's all I got to say. It's a lot of fun. Just learn how not to sleep as much. But other than that, it's a lot of fun.
I got goosebumps. I want to say hey to Anne Marie and Davis, my babies. They make the world go round. Thanks, Tony.
All right then, so that was JT and Wade, and saw that JT is in desperate need of a baby. Bjorn needs to save his arms a little bit before he goes out and slalom, but there you go. Great to see him and little Alexander there for our viewers to see, and JT will actually be starting out. Actually, second to last out in the pro men in round two. We've reseeded it because JT came away with the tied at best score with 3 at 10.25 meters or 41 off, tying with Fred Winter. So establishing a pretty decent score. Now, will that score be enough to advance through to the next round of the competition? Maybe. It certainly looks good. You know, there are six men that go through to the pro men final. 3 women go through to their respective final, and that's our format for the pros. But we're in amateurs right now, and this is the third and last round of amateurs, part 1. And our first competitor to take to the water should be Cassandra Elliott, or Cassie Elliott. All right, beautiful conditions here. A little breath of wind that's just come up that will add a little bit of texture to the water. You know, sometimes, whenever the conditions are too calm, it means that the first pass is a little bit disorientating, because you're actually skiing, and you're also skiing against your reflection on the water, which can be a little bit disorientating, but it's something you do experience from time to time. But with a little bit of wind picking up, just it breaks up the water, and all right, coming in at 46k long line, which is 28 long line. Cassie Elliott skied pretty impressively over the last couple of rounds. Cassie Elliott, who's age 28, comes to us originally from Scarborough in Maine. Apparently this is her first competition, so there you go. So Cassie Elliott on long line scored 3.5 at 34 miles an hour as her best score so far in this competition. This is on long line, which is quite literally 0 off. And the other 0 off is in the towboat, making sure that that 28-mile-an-hour opening pass is absolutely straight down the middle so far as the times are concerned. So, a little bit of long line skiing there, courtesy of Cassandra Elliott. Just a little bit open to the boat coming in towards number 1, but she has to kind of put the brakes on a little bit and allow that ski to angle out because it is long line. You've got a whole abundance of rope you have to deal with. So not looking too bad out there. A little bit of long line skiing there for Cassandra Elliott. For those of you that are tuning in and looking at the comments, right there is a little bit of an indication as where we are schedule-wise. First round of the amateur field. This is our first competitor. This is Cassie Elliott. Hometown is Wellington, Florida. She's skiing in her first competition ever. What a competition to ski in. Not looking too bad. This is long line, and this is at 49K or 30 miles an hour. Come on, Cassie. There you go. Oh, hanging tough there into number 6. All right. So now it is 52 kilometers an hour or 32 miles an hour coming up next for Cassie Elliott. Graduated in 2014 from the University of New Hampshire with a degree in equine science. So she loves horses. I mean, you have to love horses if you've graduated with that kind of degree. And occupation, working to afford her hobbies. Yeah, that pretty much sums it up for everyone, really, I guess. Her hobbies are dressage, snowboarding, and running. So not so much into cross-country or show jumping, but into the event where you kind of have to dress up a little bit. 49K, 30 miles an hour. There you go, getting in a little bit on the back of the ski, but miraculously able to get that ski angled. Whoa, hanging tough there and really having to put the brakes on 5. Oh my word, that was at 52K. Oh! How on earth was she able to get through that pass? I do not know. Just hang on to the reins and just stay on the saddle. A little bit of an equine reference there. So good effort there. Nicely done. A little bit open into buoy number 4. This is where it starts to get really, really tough on her. Managing to hold it through round buoy number 5. And you know, another one of those euphemisms, and this will certainly play well for Cassie Elliott, is that famous quote from Tin Cup: you ride her till she bucks you, or you don't ride at all. So there we go. Cassie Elliott now. This is at 55K, 34 miles an hour. If she runs this, and it will be a PB obviously if she does, then she'll move up to 18.25 meters, which is the next linelet. Come on! Oh, again. Oh, all right. It's going to be 2 at 34. Long line. But not a bad effort in her first competition. So Cassie Elliott held on to the reins for as long as she could and skied with a A score of 2 at 34 long line.
Next year, Amelia Vaughan coming in at 52K, 16 meters, 52.16.
All right, we got Amelia Vaughan coming in at 52K at 22 off, I believe. Skiers have the option to go sub-maximum on a short line, and that's exactly what Amelia Vaughan is doing. Nicely done at 22 off. Very, very easy. Certainly makes it look easy. But there you go with the opener. Looks like we got Cassandra Elliott. First ever competition, is that right?
It is. I've been skiing for about 2 months now. This is my first competition. It seems to be a pretty big competition, but fun so far.
Yeah, what a competition to enter in on in your first time. And you skied long line all the way to 34. And I mean, what's your PB been in practice so far?
I got 32 2 days ago. So 34 long line. It's a new experience. And yesterday, my first time doing it, I had no idea what speed I was going. I was just going for it.
Just keep on riding, huh?
I was super happy with my results yesterday.
Excellent, and I'm sure you're extremely happy with your result today as well.
Yeah, definitely.
All right then, so well done to you. PBs all the way around. So the drinks are on you, I guess.
I guess so. Go Team DBAB. Woo!
Woo! All right, so that was Cassandra Elliott. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
We'll pick up Amelia Vaughan coming back on 55K to 22 off, and I'm sure Cassie's going to take a look at this and see what inspiration she can gain. There we go, nicely done off buoy number 1. Looking good, Amelia Vaughan. Whoa, a little bit buffeted off number 4, but she's learnt one or two things from her husband, Corey Vaughan, in terms of just staying relaxed and staying composed, not allowing the panic to set in. And there we go, Amelia Vaughan getting through 22 off or 60 meters at max speed, which is at 34 miles an hour or 55K. So there, we're Amelia Vaughan. Yeah, got a little bit pitched up off buoy number 4. And there's round buoy number 6, and nice effort there. Well, actually, she got pitched up off the second buoy. There we go. Off number 5, a little flat into 6, but she had enough room to work with. So that was at 22 off at 55K. She went in on her opening pass at sub-max speed, which is at 52K. Or 32 miles an hour. All right, so here we go. Nice. Round buoy number 1. Looking good round number 2. And 3. This is at 28 off. We've shortened the rope now. Round 5, working it round number 6. A little late. But a good run. It is a 6 buoy count. And that is Amelia Vaughan. Now, Amelia scored halfway down 13 meters yesterday. We're going to see if she can make it through this time around. I'm sure that she's gotten 1 or 2 tips from a hubby. I'm sure that he's along the shoreline somewhere, or may even be at dockside. But nonetheless, I'm sure that she's trying to She'll try to get a little bit further down 13 meters with the next pass coming up. Our first comment of the day comes to us from Michael Yeager. Thank you very much indeed. And from the, with his greetings from the upper left, Washington State, all the way down to the lower right, which is Florida, where we're at right now. Speaking of Florida, you could find out more about the great activities and fun things to do by going to visitcentralflorida.com. That's visitcentralflorida.com. You can find out all those great things you can do in this Sunshine State. All right, round buoy number 1 on 13. Yeah, this is Amelia Vaughan. She has the ski in front of her. Oh, had gotten broken up off number 3, and she's skiing in towards the shore. But it is... it's a score which I believe actually equals a PB, which he set yesterday with halfway down 13 meters. Just needs to get a little bit more experience attempting this line length shortening. That's all it is.
13 meters.
Just needs a little bit more time on the water with this line length, and I think that she'll have it situated before too long. So there we go. That's Amelia Vaughan with 3 on 30 meters, 3 at 32 off. Taking a look at the instant replay from the boat.
Mary Koenig coming in 52.18. 52.18 for Mary.
Mary, 52.18.
Okay, so Mary Koenig, or Koenig, however, whichever way you want to pronounce it.
Give me 1 second.
Don't have an awful lot of information on her, but we'll see what Mary Koenig can do. 52.18. I believe Mary Koenig has actually represented the United States at a senior level at the Pan Americans. 32 miles an hour, 18.25 meters. Another skier that's elected to go sub-max. And right now we've got Wade with a special guest. Wade, take it away.
Hey, Wade again here on the dock with Paulie. Connor, you got to help us this morning, sort of shoot the opening, hanging out. And this is your home lake, right?
This is my home lake. It's a beautiful sight. I love it out here. It's amazing.
And so, what's it like to be standing hanging on the dock with the pros? Kind of cool, huh?
Yeah, it's a dream come true. This is where I always wanted to be when I was a young skier. I wanted to be out there with the pros, hanging out. I just love the fact that this tournament you get to bond with them. It's very cool.
So, where are you thinking about going to college? And I assume maybe the ski team may be sort of a prospect?
Yeah, I'm looking at 3 schools right now. I'm looking at Auburn, Clemson, and then Bama.
Well, there we go. Thanks, Connor. Back to you, Tony.
All right, so Mary Koenig coming back into the course on 16 meters. Mary Koenig coming back in on 16 meters. Because she's women's 5, it means her max speed is 52K. So here comes Mary Koenig. 16 meters. Nicely done off buoy number 1. Little flat-footed round number 2. That's not going to allow the ski to rotate as much as she would like. But here she is. She's still out there on the course and just ran out of steam there, unfortunately. So it is 3 1/2. 3 1/2 for Mary Koenig on the 60-meter line, or 22 off. And there we go. Just heard from Wade and Connor Paulie. Connor Paulie, aside from skiing within about the next few competitors, actually not the next skier, but the skier afterwards. He's also going to be running camera in the boat during the pros of the slalom skiing as well. We're looking for a camera person who's lightweight as well, which basically excludes me along with a few others. I can tell you that. At 55K 16 in the Masters Women, which dictates that they have to go at maximum women's speed irrespective of what age they are. It is Brenda Nichols. Brenda Nichols at 55, 16 meters. Brenda Nichols, former world jump champion from way back in 1995. Many times Pan American senior champion, and has also medaled at world level at the senior level as well. So, this is Brenda Nichols. One of her old stomping grounds at this site here at Sunset Lakes. Honed her skills as a world-class water ski jumper and parlaying that to the world title in 1995. Skiing as an alternate in the championships, replacing Scott Ellis due to a last-moment injury. And actually, fun fact, between 93 and 95, the World Women's Champions in the jump event were both alternates. 1993, Kim de Macedo replaced the late Greg Llewellyn in Singapore for those World Championships in 93 and came through to win that title for Canada. And then 2 years later in Roquebrune-Serrageant in France, Brenda Nichols did exactly the same thing, except she replaced Scott Ellis on Team USA to come through to win the world title there. So, nice little bit of trivia there to hold on to. All right, so Brenda Nichols, 14.25 meters. There we see Connor Paulie. All right, approaching the course now, 14.25 meters or 28 off. All right, so Connor Paulie. Brenda Nichols, I beg your pardon. Connor Paulie is on the starting dock waiting to go. But he's going to have to wait a while because knowing Brenda Nichols as well as we typically do, she's normally good for 14.25 meters. We'll see what she can do with 13 meters coming up next. So let's have a look at this. All right, so we got Brenda Nichols. And here's our intent view, and there's Connor Paulie on the dock, and over yonder we got Brenda Nichols. All right, this is 32 off, or 13 meters. There you go, looking very smooth, very composed, not allowing herself to get off kilter in any way, shape or form. Just going smooth in, smooth out. A bit like Mr. Miyagi, wax on, wax off. Here we go, Brenda Nichols. So, Brenda Nichols on our instant replay there, just emphasizing what I said earlier. Just very, very smooth, brings the handle in, takes a little bit of the slack up, the minimal amount of slack that she would have gotten. It is a headwind pass, by the way, so, I mean, that gave her some additional stopping power. And Brenda Nichols getting ready for 12 meters now. Let's see where she ended up in the previous round. I think she actually got fairly deep into this pass, if we're being honest. So Brenda Nichols, one of her best scores is 1 on 12 meters. Gets the 1, and won't proceed any further. Her best score in this competition was 3 on 12, so 1 on 12. It ties for a second best score. All right, so there we see Brenda Nichols with 1 on 12. And Wade, what you got?
Hey, thanks, Tony. We got Zach Barkwell here, our youngest competitor in the field. Zach, how old are you?
10.
So 10 years old, and you ski at Trophy Lakes in Minnesota, right?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. So.
Have you skied here before?
Not before yesterday, no. So, yeah.
Have you gone to the Nationals yet?
Yeah, I have. I went this year and last year.
2-time national champion already?
No, not champion, but
2 nationals already, right? All right. Well, good deal.
I got 3rd and 4th place.
I'm sorry.
I got 3rd and 4th place.
3rd and 4th
right.
place at the Nationals, guys. Zach Barkwell, his sister Nicola's going to be up really soon, and I apologize for my errors with the microphone. Back to you, Tony.
All right, then. 58K, 16 meters for Connor Paulie is our next competitor. Connor Paulie comes to us from Lutz in Central Florida. Been skiing since the age of 3, been competing since the age of 8, and he is, I think, 15, it says here. Wants to be a mechanical engineer. Well, his hobbies involve welding, bike repair, and engine rebuilds. I think he's on his way. 2 of 35 off is his personal best, and this is at 22 and through the exit gates, and nicely done. So yeah, looking to maintain his angle across the back of the boat. Lovely stuff there from Connor Paulie. All right, this is Connor Paulie. Here we go. Florida State champion 3 years straight. Florida State jump champion, 2-time regional jump champion. Calls this place home. Connor Paulie. Not looking too bad. All right, and receiving a little bit of encouragement from the shore side. All right, so Connor Paulie taking a look. Very aggressive start on 14.25 meters. Just the difference in aggression and just outlook going into this pass. You know, it certainly helps. You know, with 14.25 meters. All right, so looking strong at 14.25 meters, and gonna meet up with one of our previous skiers who skied not too long ago, Mary Koenig. All right, so Mary, how are you doing today?
Doing great.
Good.
A beautiful day.
Yes, indeed, absolutely. A beautiful day in the neighborhood, as they say. All right, then. We're going to take a look at Connor Paulie coming into the course right now, and we'll touch upon how you scored. Beat 3.5 at 22 off, but now this is 32 off for Connor Paulie. All getting broken over a little bit into number 3, but holding everything together here. Oh, look at this. Taking 1 or 2 hits. Nicely done at 32 off. Oh, nicely done. Yes, you certainly agree with that one. That's a very nice. It was a very nice pass. Now, so far as you're concerned, Mary, how do you think you did this weekend?
That wasn't what I was hoping for.
Wasn't quite what you were
But
hoping.
it's my first tournament back after I broke my hip. 16 months. So
Oh,
my first tournament.
first
back.
tournament in almost a year and a half.
Yeah.
And you picked this tournament to be a part of.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, so
Do a little skiing, a little shooting, and a little golfing.
yes, indeed. We look forward to the golf a little bit later on tonight. So how'd you do with the shooting?
I hit all my practice rounds, and then I got 4 out of 10.
Isn't that just the way, though? Yeah, I mean, I know someone else has actually done exactly the same thing. One of the pros, Alicia Bagnoli from Italy.
Yeah.
She got all 4 of her practice rounds, and then when it came time for it to be counted, didn't hit a darn thing. But it's just the way, isn't it? So how are you feeling after the hip operation?
It was kind of a long recovery. You know, it was challenging. I've got a rod and then a screw up into the femur.
Oh, that just sounds painful.
Permanent hardware.
There you go. Okay, going through the X-ray machine with the TSA. That's always going to be an occupational hazard.
Yep.
Here we go. 35 off for Connor Paulie right here. Getting a little bit out of kilter. It's going to be 2. It's going to be 2 on 12. All right then. So we thank Mary Koenig for her analysis. A lot of hard work out there, just making this tournament happen, and also out there on the water, and exemplifying a lot of that hard work is on the water right now, or rather was on the water with 2 buoys on 12 meters. Connor Paulie. All right, we're gonna have a word with Connor Paulie in just a few moments, but we're gonna send our next skier out. Next skier on this list is going to be Brett Swanborn. At 52.18.25 meters, he's going to take the scenic route, and sitting right here next to me. Get his microphone set up, and we'll send Brett Swanborn into the course for the moment at 52.18, or we could actually talk to you first a little bit. Hey, Connor, what's up?
Not too much, just out here enjoying the beautiful day. Can't ask for better conditions than this.
Okay, so at 13 meters, you took a couple of hits along the way, but you got things under your belt. Looked fairly tidy. It must have impressed even yourself.
I did impress myself. Obviously, as a skier, you always want more, but can't be mad with that.
Yes, indeed. You're always wanting more, like the proverbial Oliver Twist, huh?
Yep, exactly.
All right. So, all right then. So, you've fared well. We're looking to look at Brett Swanborn here with 52.18.25 meters, looking very strong out there. But as we're looking at this, I mean, what were the conditions like out there for you? A little bit of a breeze out there to put a little bit of texture on the water, which might have helped you a little bit.
Yeah, I'm a skier that I kind of need a little bit, or else it messes with your depth perception. It almost looks too calm some days. So I'm fairly happy with the wind conditions. And for the sun, I know some people were worried about it, but it's not bad at all. It's perfect position in the sky right now. A little bit off to your right when you're heading into it, so it's never bothering you.
You're just a tough guy, aren't you?
I don't know about that, but
no. You rebuild engines, you weld, you mend bikes as well. You're just an all-round dude, aren't you?
Try to be.
All right then. All right. We'll get you toweled off and dried,
Sounds
so you
good.
can get in the boat and you can do the videoing and stuff for here. 55.18.25 meters. Thanks a lot there, Connor Paulie. 55 on 18.25 meters for Brett Swanborn. So, 55K 18.25 meters because Brett Swanborn is a boys 4. I think he actually shortens the line after this point. There you go, Brett Swanborn. So not looking bad, and getting fairly early on the first third of that pass, and that kind of helped him with the remainder of it. All right, so Brett Swanborn, 52 and 55 under his belt. Actually 36 miles an hour on 18.25. This was at 36 miles an hour, so boys 4 actually shortens at 58k. My apologies throughout on that one. That was 2 at 15 off. So 2 at 15 off there. That was at max speed. The max speed for boys 4 is 58k. So just got out of kilter very, very soon into that pass. A native of Land O'Lakes in Florida. It's been skiing competing for the last 3 years. That was Brett Swanborn. Age 14, he's still a student and likes dirt bikes and all that kind of stuff. $500 cash prize for the strongest bull of the event. Now, not the absolute strongest pull. Now we're switching it up a little bit and doing the strongest pull ratio. It's the skier's weight against the amount that they pull against the boat. The highest ratio that will determine where that $500 cash prize will end up going. And right now, Will Asher leads in that respect, I believe. We'll get the full ratio findings, but I know for a fact that Will Asher actually pulled the strongest on his entry gate at 10.25 meters in the previous round of pros. So we'll see if he can conjure up something similar. Next skier to go on this list is going to be Eric Spletter. Eric Spletter is a boys 4 competitor, and what?
This is you, right?
All right, so 49 at 16 meters, which means that if he harbors any ambitions to shorten beyond 60 meters, he has to go to 58k and run that, and that is going to be 4 passes in. This is at 22 off, 16 meters. Nicely done. Yeah, just stance on his slalom ski looks very, very good. Just allowing that ski just to turn and do what it does best. And obviously when the boat speed starts getting a little bit higher, he's looking to complete his angle across the back of the boat and trying to break that ski into a little bit of more of an extreme edge and allow it to fully rotate. That is Eric Spletter.
Thanks, Tony. Wade Cox again here with the Tower. Chris Parrish, my coffee brother, he brought me one. He knew I'd be needing it by now. So you ripped it up yesterday and got another round to go here, huh?
Yeah, I got to bring you the Pike Place. I know it's your favorite roast, Wade, but yeah, thank you. Yesterday felt really good. I was super relaxed and just worked on a few of my keys. And yeah, my best score of the year was actually yesterday, so I'm super pumped.
Awesome, man. And it's kind of like a home site because we've done a whole bunch of testing here over the few years. Yeah. It's nice when you have a good visual base, right, when you go out.
100%. And as I was walking down here, I thought about even the junior development days and all the years I spent skiing here and then skiing with the HO team and all that stuff this week. But yes, it's very, very cool.
Well, good stuff. You guys will see him in a few. Thanks, Tony.
All right, thanks a lot, Wade. Thanks a lot, Chris. And we've got Eric Spletter at looking at his instant replay at 52K at 16 meters. Still got 2 more passes to run before that line length gets any shorter. Comes to us originally from Freiburg in Switzerland. His current hometown is Winter Garden, Florida, not too far away from here. He's been competing for the last 7 years. He's age 15 and currently in 10th grade right now at Windermere High. Personal best is 3 at 32 off, so he's definitely capable of running 16 meters at max speed and getting into those line lengths, into those shorter line lengths. But he's having to take the scenic route to get there. We got Eric Spletter. This is at 55K on 16 meters or 22 off, 34.22. Look at him go. Look at him. Nicely done, Eric Spletter. Oh, there we go. A little bit wayward there. But Eric Spletter getting through 55 at 16, and now he's going to go to 58 on that line length. That would be max speed, and he can shorten the line after running that particular pass. But growing in confidence all the time. And another message has come through our comments from Greg Paulie. Thank you very much indeed for your kind words. And yes, very, very, very appreciative of your comments indeed. It's always great to see and to hear that. And I'm sure that you're pretty proud of what Connor has done out there on the water with 2 on the 12-meter line. All right, here we go. This is at 28 off for Eric Spletter. Getting a little bit pitched out. So another 6 buoy pass. I wonder if that is indeed 28 off because he started at 49, 16 meters. And because he is a boys 4 competitor, his max speed is at 58. So that might still have been 16 meters. We'll get confirmation from our official. Actually, 55.13 is going to be next for him, so scrub that. 55K, 13 meters is going to be the next run. So, looking at the tail end of Eric Spletter, 13 meters comes up next. All right, we've got some information to show you. There we go, Corey Vaughan with a 5.5 to 1 is rope tension ratio. Ahead of Will Asher with 4.7 to 1, 4.4 to 1 for Thibaut Dayon, Jonathan Travers, and Frederick Winter as well. So there you go. You got a little bit of an indication of how much more in terms of ratio that Corey Vaughan has been able to exert. So 1 at 30 meters for Eric Spletter. We're going to take a look at this once again. Now 13 meters is certainly a pass. Once you get to this kind of stage, things happen a lot quicker. The resistance that the boat is offering against you is a lot more extreme. And barely able to get around buoy number 1 and just... Oh, hang on a second. The judges scored him with 1. Now, I don't know whether they need to look at that again, because that ski absolutely went outside buoy number 2. So at the very least, he should get 1.5. We'll take a look at this from the boat. This might be a more telling view. Okay, we'll wind that back a little bit. Keep winding it back. Okay. I'm still of the opinion that he scored 1.5. And Wade, who have you got, sir?
Thanks, Tony. I'm here on the dock with Brett Swanborn, who just finished his 3rd round of the amateur division. How'd your weekend go?
It went good. Yep.
So how did your buoy count go per? This is only your 2nd tournament, right?
Yes.
So what were you hoping to score this weekend, and what did you score?
I was happy with what I got. That's what I was hoping to score. I scored, I think it was 2.5 buoys at 36, and I ran the course at 34, 15 off. Yeah.
Nice. That's really good skiing. So how long have you been skiing?
I've been on and off 3 event for 4 years. Yeah.
And this is your home site right here, huh?
Yeah, I come here sometimes and train, but I'm mainly a barefooter. So.
You hear that, guys? He's a barefooter at heart. Thanks, Tony. Back to you.
All right, Martin Labra coming into the course at 14.25 meters, a native of Chile. All right, so running through 14.25 meters. All right, so sitting next to me right here at the announcing point, and looking at Martin Labra going through 14.25 meters. We got Eric Spletter. How you doing, sir?
Good. How are you today?
Not too bad. Not too bad. So you skied pretty well today. You got 1 on 30 meters. Was that one of your better scores in this competition?
Yeah. Yesterday, both my sets, I couldn't run 28. I was pretty disappointed, but today I ran it and got in the 32, so I'm happy with that.
And you certainly notice a difference between 28 off and 32 off in terms of your approach and how you do it.
It's more fun.
Yes, indeed. Now, the judges actually gave you 1 at 32 off.
I believe that's correct, yeah.
You believe that's correct, okay. Okay, now let me take a look at this replay on 32 off. Let's see if we can speed this up a little bit to get to where we need to be. Okay, so let's have a look at this. The judges believe you got 1. I believe... Ooh, it's close.
It's pretty close.
Pretty close. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, but they gave you 1, and upon additional reflection, that was probably the more accurate call. But you skied well. That was your best score of the weekend, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm happy with even 1. So at least I ran my 28, and very happy with that. So.
Well, very good. We certainly appreciate you being out here in this competition in the 2020 Travers Grand Prix. And look forward to seeing you ski more in the future. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Tony. Have a nice day.
No worries. Eric Spletter there, and we just seen Martin Labra come through with 13 meters. All right then, so Martin Labra getting through 13 meters. All right, Ken, here comes Martin Labra coming into the course. This is 12 meters. .35 off, getting a good stiff hit there off buoy number 1. Good to go round number 2, Martin Labra. Age 14 He's able to do this, and just anxiety just actually absolutely crept in on that pass. That was a headwind attempt at 12 meters. Currently an 8th grader in school right now. His ambitions are to become a world overall champion, and he's certainly on a good path towards that aim. Personal best of 3 on this line length, actually. So what you've just seen there from Martin Labra is actually his new PB of 4.5 at 35 off 12 meters. Now, you could definitely understand when things were starting to get a little bit anxious. Just that 5-ball monster comes into play. The handle coming up, and, you know, he's got his personal best, but, you know, there's that added frustration of knowing you're that close. Yeah, there you go. Just screaming underwater and just realizing how close he was to running 12 meters or 35 off. But the takeaway is he's got a new PB, so well done, Martin. I'm sure that Rodrigo and Pipe and Javier Julio and Tonge Bene are pretty pleased at seeing Martin Labra getting through that deal. So,
Same handle next gear.
okay, coming through with comments, Keith, very nice to hear from you. Yes, indeed, he did score a 4 on 12 meters in one of the previous rounds. So thanks a lot for that. Thanks for keeping me honest there, Keith. And appreciate the rest of you chiming in as well. $15 off for Zach Barkwell. Not bad. Nice bit of technique there exhibited by Zach Barkwell. Actually went in at 52K for his opening pass. We'll take a look at the instant replay. So, 52K, 18.25 meters under his belt. Zach Barkwell, as a matter of fact, is a boys' 3 competitor. And I believe that, to the best of my knowledge, boys 3, and maybe you guys and girls out there can correct me on this, boys 3, you actually shorten at 52K, which means the pad's coming back 55.18. 55 is the max speed for boys 3, which means that line length is still there at 18.25 meters or 15 off. Getting launched a little bit into buoy number 1 on 18.25 at 55K or 15 off 34 miles an hour. Needs to run this in order to shorten the line down from this point onwards. And there we go. Good aggression. Very, very smooth. Very, very aggressive. Nicely done there. And now he's going to shorten the line down to 22 off or 16 meters. So, Zach Barkwell it is, 52K, 18.25 meters he started off with. He ran that. He ran 55 on that same line length, and now the rope gets shorter from here on out because he has achieved a clear pass at max speed. Now with zero-based scoring, I mean, there is nothing to stop a skier from actually going in on, say, like 14 or 13 meters, you know, at the sub-max boat speed. But the only way that line shortens from your predetermined length from the dock is if you reach and clear max boat speed. That's the whole basis of zero-based scoring. Here we go, right here, right now. This is Zach Barkwell, and this now is at 55K, 16 meters, or 34 miles an hour, 22 off. Look at him go. Good knee compression off buoy number 5. Little launch into number 6, but he's got this under his belt. 14.25 meters comes up next for Zach Barkwell. And mentioning one or two people here, Magdalena Spletter, thank you very much for your comments as well. Obviously, Eric Smith, thanks for the tournament, great team and all that kind of stuff. We thank you very much for that. Lisa Jenkins, and absolutely no doubt as to what she wants more of. More coffee talk with Tower and Wade. We'll see if we could conjure up some more of that. How about that? I think it's a little bit late for coffee now. Or maybe it's still early enough. Maybe we haven't even gotten to 10 a.m., which is 9 a.m. Central Time, 8 a.m. Mountain, 7 a.m. West Coast, and still very much in the early hours of the morning, whether it be Anchorage or Honolulu. Here we go. This now. This is Zach Barkwell. This is 14.25 meters. Gets it good to go. Look at him go. Look at it go. Oh, tries to crank the living snot out of buoy number 3, and unfortunately coming up short. It's going to be 2.5 at 14.25 meters. 2.5 at 14.25 meters for Zach Barkwell. As we now get ready for our next competitor. It's none other than Nicola Barkwell.
Good luck, Nicola. Please do as many passes as possible. I'm not ready.
Really? Oh. Bad? Is anybody switching right now?
Yeah.
So, Nicola Barkwell on the slalom course, just to get you up to speed. Zach Barkwell score of 2.5 at 14.25 minutes. His second best score out of the 3 rounds. He scored 3.5 on the opening round, and actually backed that up with 2 in the second round. So Zach Barkwell somewhere in the middle there with the third round, and Nicola Barkwell. Let's see if she can continue her adventure on that slalom course as she gets ready for 52K, 18.25 meters. Now, edging out and being on that edge for quite a while prior to the gates. Looked like she pulled out a little early. But no harm, no foul. Little flat coming into number 2. Now, she's going to have to resolve that and get on the good foot and be more dynamic with her edge change, because being on that flat ski for just even that long, you know, generates a whole bunch of nasty stuff. Slack rope, the inability for the ski to rotate round and gain angle across course. Mind you, it is the opening pass of 49K, 18.25 meters, so it's an easy enough pass for her to go through. But it's when you start bumping up the speed and, moreover, shortening the line, that's when flat skiing just won't cut it. Here we go, Nicola Barkwell. This is still the second pass on 18.25 meters. 52K now. .32 miles an hour, indeed it is, for Nicola Barkwell, girls 4 competitor. So she'll be coming back in at 55, the max boat speed. All right, so we got Nicola Barkwell going through with the with that pass at 49 and 52K and now 55K. Here we go, Nicola Barkwell. This is 55K, 18.25 meters. She will get to ski at 22 off or 16 meters, provided that she runs this pass. Entrance, round buoy number 1, a little bit down course, but keeping the angle going across course, keeping her early. Looking to go round buoy number 5. Yes, goes into her edge change. Now 16 meters is going to come up next for Nicola Barkwell. So, Nicola Barkwell, who scored a 3.5 on 16 in the round previous to this and scored 1 on 14.25 meters in the first round. Let's see if she could conjure up something to go better than 1 at 14.25 meters. That's a pass she'll get to, so long as she gets through the next one, which is 60 meters. And on the starting dock from Switzerland, there is Vincent Stadlbauer, limbering up, hopefully not feeling too much ill effect or of the crash that he took yesterday at 10.75 meters off buoy number 1. That was a pretty hefty fall. Now, this is 60 meters, Nicola Barkwell. Oh, nice, keeping the speed up, keeping everything flowing. Nicola Barkwell, come on, round number 2 and 3. Oh, a little bit lazy off number 4, and that's where the scoring ends. 4 at 22 off for 60 meters for Nicola Barkwell. It's her second best score of this competition. Scored 1 in round number 1, and backed it up with 3.5 in round number 2. So somewhere in the middle. So that was Nicola Barkwell. Now we're going to dock the boat. We're going to switch out drivers, 1 or 2 officials as well, before we go into our next batch of amateur skiers. We're still actually in the first half of our amateur competition in round 3. And once we get done with that first half, we'll go into the pros for women, then pro men, and then the second half of the third round of amateur competitors. There on the starting dock is Vincent Stadlbauer. The boat change, the crew change will not take too much time at all. There we go. Switched in with our camera person. Ricky's out and Connor Paulie is in. I don't know who's going to be the boat official.
To event 2.
But I know who's going to be at the helm of that towboat. That's going to be Les Todd.
On the replay, switch to event 2. Bro, you know what you could do for me?
Ski well, my friend.
You know what you could do for me? Find me something to sit on.
So, Vincent Stadlbauer
Say that
is.
again?
See, Les is that good, he doesn't even need a simulation pass up and down.
Hey, Vince.
We're going to go straight in
Get past 11
with
again
Vincent
while I'm here so I can
Stadlbauer.
see
It's
him,
going to
alright?
be a 14.25 meter start.
I think there's one on the back side by the door over there.
You got it, Prix?
She didn't say anything. My tally is down.
14.25 meters, 58K for Vincent Stadlbauer. Scored half a buoy yesterday on 10.75 meters and took a big old shot to the ribs in the process. Also took a big old hit to the face as well, if we're being honest. But here comes Vincent Stadlbauer. Going a little bit further down course on some of these turns than he would like. All right, but he's cleared it nonetheless. It is a 6 buoy count. This is Vincent Stadlbauer. Good glide, not too much in the way of edge weight from the towboat. Good reach, handle up a little bit high. That's what made him a little unbalanced coming into buoy number 2. Very sensitive to that kind of movement, especially the way that he turns buoy number 2. But good edge, good angle, good angulation across the back of the boat. And we'll see what he can do next. It's going to be 13 meters. Boat speed at 58K all the way through from here on out. All right, here we go. Vincent Stadlbauer, this is 13 meters or 32 off. Nicely done, a little down course. There you go. Now he's starting to pick up a little bit of pace, a little bit of excitement. $14 and $13 in quick succession. All right then, so Vincent Stadlbauer on the water and joining us just in time to see him ski. It's Freddie Winter.
How you doing, Tony?
I'm doing pretty good, can't complain too much.
I didn't get to catch up with you yesterday, but great day on the water, and by all accounts a fantastic webcast yet again.
Well, we try. we try and do the best for all the peeps around the world watching. Here at the 2020 Travers Grand Prix, you didn't do too badly yourself. You got half three at 10.25 minutes, halfway down that pass.
Yeah, I was a bit annoyed because I watched your webcast back and I had a good start and kind of messed it up, but you know, that's all right. No point doing really well in the first round. Oh, he's kind of struggling here.
Yeah, a little bit on 12 meters, getting a little down course, but he's still able to run it. Now, he's not going to get away with anything of that sort on 11.25 coming up next. It looks okay, but I mean, I've always pointed out what he does into 2, 4, and 6.
Me too. I've sat in the boat and watched him quite a bit at Swiss when I go over there and ski with those guys, and yeah, so that leaning over the front, loading the front of the ski, but you know, not to shamelessly plug, but he's a big fan of this D3 Ion that he's on, and he feels that he can get away with a little bit more because of that. So, but he's sore from yesterday, right? He had a big crash, and
he took a big old shot to the face and ribs.
yeah, he said he was nearly drowning. So maybe that's why he was a little, skiing that a little gingerly.
Now he's going to have to just basically dig deep here on 11.25 meters to try and affect the same thing on that pass. He scored 1.5 in round 1. He ran half a buoy at 10.75 meters in round 2. Let's see what he can We'll see if he can conjure up a good effort there on round number 3. He got 1.5 at 11.25 in the first round. Ran it and got half at 10.75 in the second round. Let's see what he's got.
Oh, that's a deep one. The net goes back. I think he's going to struggle here.
He's going to struggle. He's going to really struggle. But I tell you what, he's still there. He's still there, and he will rear up on 4. He'll get somewhere in the middle there. That is going to be a 4 buoy count. 11.25 meters.
And a very professional S-turn there. He'd do well in the pros with that.
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
Good job. Well, I'm going to give Vince a lot of credit there, because not only is he coming back from a big crash yesterday, but he's working so hard on this webcast. I've seen behind the scenes a little bit of how you guys work, and it's not for the faint-hearted. So, for him to be out there skiing and motivated to even do it while he's got his workload, it's quite amazing.
All right then. So thank you there, Freddie. And we're, without sounding or appearing too ostentatious, we'll actually bring Vincent up here. Why not? Yeah.
How the turntables have turned. That was Michael Scott.
Yeah. Yeah, from The Office, wasn't it? There we go. You gotta love it. What version do you like, the British one or the American?
I mean, I'm gonna get hate from the Brits, but I've got to say, I think there's slightly less awkward but more obviously funny American version. But there's definitely a place for the UK one. Any fans of The Office out there, you got to watch both.
All right then. So we've got Steve Island on the water as we wait for Vincent Stadlbauer to get dried off, and I believe this one for Steve Island is going to be
Steve Island opening pass.
Not too sure.
That'd be probably a 14, maybe a 28 off.
I think so. It's probably going to be 28 off. The angle on the line is consistent with 14.25 meters. But I tell you.
Yeah, so Steve's come and skied with me a couple of times at the boarding school. Super nice guy and really good style. I think he skis down in Okehili Park sort of area. So yeah, he looks good. Super stacked over his ski, and dude looks great. Really good skiing here.
All right, so that was at 14.25 meters. We'll keep on winding it through. Even at this point, Vincent is trying to direct.
Vince can't get away from the job. I'm surprised he wasn't doing it down at the end of the lake.
All right, then. We've got Vincent Stadlbauer. We can hear him. Oh, we can see you now. There you go. And
a rare time in front of the camera.
Yeah, yes. I think it's only the second time I'm actually in front of the camera.
Well,
First time
you obviously know my feelings about your 2, 4, and 6, but this guy will tell you.
Every day I'm at the house, and Tony is like, dude, I wish Freddie was turning in the 2-4s the way you turn them.
Yeah, I can believe it.
That is a complete fabrication.
Yeah, Tony sounds like he's about to vomit after you saying that, actually. So,
not the best 2-4s today, but I'm pretty happy with my set, to be honest. I was a bit tired of all the skiing yesterday and the setting up, but she'll get it on the replay, don't worry.
All right, then.
But pretty happy with my score. Can't complain. Felt great.
All right, excellent stuff there. And Vincent, not the only one directing this, but also got to give big ups to Alicia Bagnoli, who's coming into her own a little bit in the director role behind the computer screens.
Definitely. She learns fast, and she can't take all my shouting, so that's pretty good.
She's a saint, Vince. She's a saint.
Yes.
Now, and she's another one, of course. She's going to be skiing later in the in the women's event, like she did yesterday, and she skied actually pretty well yesterday. Maybe her best score of the season with 3 at 38.
Exactly. I believe her best score is actually 4 at Fluid.
Okay.
Definitely best performance in a pro event. So far, she's seated 3rd. Obviously, everything not really goes back to 0 today, but everyone gets to have a shot at it again today. So if she scores 3 again, or maybe a piece of 4, I think she's got solid chance.
Good chance of making the final, and then of course your shouting will turn from do the replay to go and win.
Exactly.
All right then. So we just seen Steve Ireland get through 14.25 and 13 meters. Now we're going to see him go through 12.
Oi!
Oh, getting in really deep there.
Great too, considering the one, but that was too much. It looked like he kind of double pumped a little bit and pushed his weight too far on the front of the ski there at buoy 1, and he's always going to struggle. He's a righty, so he was able to come around buoy 2 and turn hard. Let's see here.
You could see there. You see that double pump and
on the front, the ski bit. So really important for every skier. Myself included, into 3 at 41 yesterday, to keep your weight in the middle of the ski all the time so the ski can do what it's designed to do, versus you trying to kick it around. It doesn't work. So he'll be disappointed with that, I would imagine, Tony?
Yeah, and I think a lot of that is on the gate pull-out, isn't it? Because, if you don't time your gate pull-out and you're not actually committed to that pull-out as much as you should be, then you're not going to achieve the glide. You're going to end up edging away. You're going to lose your width, and you're going to have to end up double pumping.
And you end up kind of going more towards the buoy than in front of it, for sure.
Whoa, look at this. He's inside buoy number 3. Good work there. There we go. That's going to be 2 on 12 meters. 2 on 12 meters there for Steve Ireland.
So, a little bit of insight. I think it's a fairly commonly held view that the easier gate is from the far end, where you've got a little bit more space. Here, you turn that corner, you've got to pull out pretty quick, so timing, if you're not really on it, your timing can be a little bit off. The slight headwind that we saw maybe 15 minutes ago isn't as prominent now, can help that, because if you do make the mistake of pulling out a little bit late, it can slow you down. But that's definitely the harder gate. So and interestingly, that's where we're seeing all the guys taking 41 from when they start at 32. Now, I can't quite remember, but I feel like in the final of today's pro event, not to be too sort of centric on the pro men's, but I think the starting line length will be 35 off. So
okay, and you certainly have a perspective on gate pullouts, because you've gone from one-handed to two-handed. You've gone off the back binding to the rear toe loop. You've made some serious changes over the last few seasons.
Yeah, and skied on a few different skis. So I've messed with a few different things, but I feel like I'm not going to say that the one-handed gate. Oh, nearly a big crash there. That was pretty big. The one-handed gate that I did for many years I really enjoyed, but the two-handed gate I feel just gives me just a little bit of an advantage on the way back through. Towards the gate, a little bit more connection, so I can swing in front of one, as we were talking about just now, instead of
just
towards
like that.
So who do we have skiing right now?
This is Paul Koenig. I believe is at 28 off.
If we're going to watch his buoy 2 here, watch how he drops his shoulder and how compressed he gets. I wasn't sure he wasn't going to have a huge crash towards 3. Watch this. Super deep. But impressive work getting it back in actually a really good buoy 3. He looks really natural, stands on his ski great. So Paul will be maybe a little bit nervous having had that buoy 2, but he'll feel good about his recovery. So he knows that he's on his toes and on his heels going forward now.
He'll be like the proverbial Taylor Swift, shake it off.
He's just shaking it off. Exactly. Yeah.
But there you go. All right, Paul Koenig, that was on the 14.25 meter start. He comes back in on 13 meters. Now, for those of you that are experiencing slaloming for the first time, or actually at that stage where you're trying to figure your way out on shortenings, between 14 and 13 meters, there are some really significant differences you have to bear in mind to be successful on both passes. Isn't that right?
Yeah, anytime you shorten the rope, it sort of gets really quite a lot harder. But for me, 32 off is when it really starts to be sort of short line. 14. I'm going to say that by and large, a lot of people can sort of make it into 28 off, 14 meters. But when you start really running that pass, that's where you start separating the men from the boys, or the wheat from the chaff, as I should probably say, more politically correct.
Yes, indeed.
But
I'll trust me. I've had some comments here that accusing me of being anything less than politically correct.
That's okay. You're a Brit, Tony. You get away with it. It's that beautiful accent that we have. People
Yes,
forgive
indeed,
us.
those dulcet tones. All right. Pavlos Dolas, greetings from Port Heli there, Freddie.
Oh, what a guy. So Pavlos is a guy, and a really interesting chap. He turned up one winter, and he's a Greek, so he's lives in England, but he turned up to ski in England, in November, and literally like to learn to slalom ski. And we're sort of like, okay, dude, you know this is not the time to learn to slalom ski. He's like, no, I'm into it. And here we are, probably, at least 10 years later, I would say. And he's loving it. He's over at one of my favorite places in the world, Port Heli, with skiing with Dimitri Karounis over there, a place that I've spent a lot of time at and haven't made it to this year, but will next year. So hi Pavlos, what a great guy.
Demetrius Carbone as well was also plinted in.
A real good guy we have as a guest at the boarding school with a lovely daughter Demi, who's getting into slalom skiing from wakeboarding.
All right then, look at this from 35. This is 35 off 12 meters. This is definitely a far cry from the opening pass of 14.25 meters. Not nearly breaking forward as much off 2, 4, and 6. And I tell you what, that has contributed well towards a successful run at 12 meters there, or 35 off. He was certainly determined to make this one.
Yeah, and his first three buoys here were great. He got into his onside turn at buoy 4, and I'm waiting for him to just to do a huge turn and sew it up, but he kind of got a little delayed. That's a great one ball, and I don't care who he is, who you are, you're definitely thinking about that weird turn you had two previous passes, but this buoy 2 was amazing. 3 I feel like was pretty good, but watch for the slack line a little bit at 4. He just gets a little bit ahead of himself and doesn't quite get the turn that he needed. So, but anyway, made it round 5 and he's into 38 off, which is exciting. And that is high level skiing when you get to that.
All right, then,
sort of
38 off, 11.25 meters, and he's going to try and attempt to run this with a wind that's trying to make its mind up where it's blowing from and to right now. It's kind of swirling a little bit.
Little bit of background. This whole week, it's just been outrageously busy in Florida, to the point where we haven't really been able to train during the days. We've always, sort of getting up early and then skiing just before sunset as well. So we were all a little bit nervous. I was out here training on Wednesday, and we had to wait till quite late. Let's just get to this 38, because I feel like this is going to be quite a big pass for Paul here.
All right, 38 off, 11.25 meters.
Not a bad one, honestly.
Not bad.
Lost a bit of the feed. Maybe around 3.
Oh, look at him go. Oh, not quite. But I tell you what, it's at least 3.
Yeah, 3 at 38. That's a damn good score. And he's. I have no idea. I know Paul a little bit. I don't know what his PB is, but he's got to be pretty happy with that, I would imagine. That's high level skiing for anyone. But yeah, so super windy here in Florida this last week, to the point where we're getting a little bit stressed about how this tournament's going to go, because dealing with wind at a pro event it just adds a whole other element. You've got to beat yourself, you've got to beat the guy standing in front of you on the dock, and you also got to beat the weather. But but it's turned out nicely. Yesterday was pretty great. I turned up this morning half an hour ago with the wind coming towards us on the dock here, and thought we were going to see a bit more, but actually it's laying down. So we'll see how that goes. Obviously, probably another hour until, I don't know, maybe women's pro skiing starts pretty soon. But as it is, it looks like it'll be headwind from the dock, which is going to, like I said earlier, help that slightly shorter gate there on the near end.
Okay, so Travis Paulie is our last competitor to go in the first half of the amateurs. Then we'll go on to the pros, and then go into the second half of the amateurs to round off their skiing before we actually go into the finals. Here comes Travis Paulie, age 32, from Loveland in Colorado. He's been competing since the age of 7, which means that this is his 25th season.
Yeah. So Travis, he's actually skied with me once or twice at the boarding school, and I know that when Trent Finlayson has done sort of a guest clinic there, he's skied with him. These guys are, I know they've been to the Travers Grand Prix, they've supported it all 3 years, and I guess they just love this event. They love coming here, and what a cool event it is. Shooting and usually go-karting, but we're going to be playing some Top Golf tonight.
Yeah.
Which is, I think more to do with that, with not allowing to be sharing of helmets on the on the go-kart team. But yeah, no, Top Golf is going to be great, and Travis running a really nice pass there.
Yes, indeed. And how did you get on with the rifle range?
8 out of 10.
8 out of 10?
Yeah, I backed myself for a full 10 because I'm a Brit, therefore I know how to shoot. No, I'm kidding. No, pretty funny with me with the shotguns. The first year I came, I got 10 out of 10, and I was sort of like, I thought that was pretty funny given that I have never really held a gun before and I'm terrified of them. But
it's a shotgun, Sol.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. And then, that's Lock, Stock or Snatch? Snatch, yeah, great film. So then last year I came back thinking I'd do really well and didn't actually. I got 5 out of 10, so I've sort of split the difference this year and done halfway okay.
All right, so we've got Travis Paulie. We've got Garrett Carver to come up afterwards. We've added him towards the end of this half of the amateur competitors. This is 13 meters. There you go. Nicely done. So massaging his way through that pass. His personal best is 3.5 at 11.25 meters, and he was a member of Team Cole McCormick, which actually won the event last year.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm still trying to see where that all, because I've got my buddy Brett who's in my team. He
Swanborn.
Yeah. He has never completed a pass before in a tournament. And so we're trying to figure out, how many boys he actually gets, because his second round he ran like 4 passes or 3.5 passes. So hopefully that's going to put my team near the top. And that's what's cool about this tournament. It's not just I'm turning up here not just to try and get the pro title, but to get the team title as well.
Now take a look at the rope tension leaderboard. This is based upon ratio because we're just getting tired of just handing you $500 checks for just the strongest pulls, so we're doing it on ratio this time.
Radio. Well, I mean that seems fair enough. Not good for my wallet maybe, but favouring the little guy.
There we go. Corey Vaughan with 5.4 to 1.
That's pretty impressive. I remember when I ran 990 2 weeks ago when I did 990 pounds. Oh no, big blowout there.
A big old release there.
Yeah, and I think an onside blowout, which kind of strange. He got really on the front there and put too much pressure and on the front, meaning that the tail was unweighted. So it popped right out.
2.5 on 12 meters. But he was on the heel right from the get-go, and he really had to take a split second out to reorientate himself off number 1 into number 2.
So as you can see here, just jumps on the front too much, and the tail just pops right out and does a 360 more or less.
Wow. All right then, that's Travis Paulie, and Garrett Carver is our next competitor, actually our last competitor in this first half of amateur competitors. Skied for the University of Louisiana at Lafayette, but to make it his home here in
But we won't hold that against him, hey Tony?
No, not at all.
Yeah,
just in case you didn't get that reference, Freddie Winter here used to ski for the Warhawks of ULM.
I certainly did.
And I used to ski for the Raging Cajuns of Louisiana Lafayette.
As you can tell by Tony's filthy-looking hat with his awful logo on it.
What do you mean awful? It's a brilliant logo.
Well, I don't know.
It was voted one of the top collegiate logos in across the nation, one of the more desirable ones.
Who did they open that up to? Probably a bunch of people from southern Louisiana.
Everyone.
Well, so I know Garrett pretty well. We were in Louisiana at the same time. So at that time, unlike maybe previously, we actually had really good relations. We were always up and down at each other's universities, and so I used to go hang out with all the guys there, and we'd go and ski together and hang out at the swimming pool and drink beer and do all the stuff that college kids do, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's still true to a certain extent with the current team rosters between the Warhawks and Raging Cajuns.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Garrett's a good dude. He told me yesterday he hasn't been in Florida for like 5 years, and so he just decided, he's like, screw it, let's go to Florida. Let's go to Florida. He got in, I think, 2 days ago. Phoned up one of his buddies very late in the day to see if he could stay with her from Lafayette. So the Lafayette connection, holding strong. And it was great to see him because, we had a lot of good times. I haven't seen Garrett in a little while.
All right, let's have a look and see. Garrett Carver.
So I actually know he's going to be pretty excited. His aim here will be to run 38. I saw on Instagram last year he ran his first ever 38 in a tournament, and he looks good. He's got good style, and from what it sounds like, he gets a fair amount of time on the water. And I'm watching him here, and I never saw him look that good when we were at university together. But he might have had a hangover every time I saw him ski. So
doesn't exactly help, does it? Anyway, 32 off 13 meters opening pass. Now, you've got to be a special kind of skier to feel confident enough going into the course on 13 meters, and you know.
Yeah, I was going to comment on that. That is pretty ballsy. You know, that's what, you know, a lot of the best skiers in the world I did yesterday. So he's and not just that, but he did it, and it looked easy breezy.
All right, so looks like we're looks like we're getting quite a few comments. Ever since you stepped into that chair and started riffing on the microphone, we've got Greek connections going all over the place.
My friend,
Tavares, we've got Per Torquist, we've got Moritz Engelhardt, which is actually can't remember his name. Engelhardt, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, so.
Well, nice. I mean, great. We're so lucky. You know, this event was, the webcast was brought in somewhat late in the day, and I remember being so happy to hear that because, you know, I'm a fan of water skiing. I think this is what we need to get water skiing to be bigger, and with you guys doing such a good job, it's, you know, we can go worldwide, hopefully. So Garrett coming in, he's got a pretty good offside. He keeps that spare hand super low, which stops him from dropping his shoulder, which I really like. I mean, that's easy. That's really, really easy. So his big pass is coming up. I imagine he probably went out at 28 yesterday, but I could be wrong. But it looks like he's probably looking at maybe a little bit of a head breeze and to take the 38 away from the dock. And I feel like looking at that, you know, he'll be going for it.
All right, so 11.25 meters coming up next on the basis of this run at 12 meters, keeping the ski well ahead of him at this point, and using some good subtle arm control there to take the sting out of the line, especially on this tailwind pass.
Yeah, and I like I was just saying, like if you look at his spare arm here coming into buoy 5, he keeps it super low. The thing that I don't like is when you see people have that spare hand like way over their head. It means that the shoulders drop on the inside and you get loaded way too early. Now. He keeps it really nice and low, and it means his shoulders can stay level, and it keeps the center of mass in the right spot to where his ski comes through. And you can see that offside turn, traditionally the harder turn, he does a really good job with.
All right, 11.25 meters, that boat accelerating up to 58k. This is our last of our amateur skiers in the first half of our amateur field. We'll have the second half after we get done with the pros, which is going to be our next event.
All right, 38 off. Garrett Carber, he needs a start. He's got it. I know he ran 4 yesterday. This is good. Come on, mate. Come on. Around, boy. 4.
On,
no!
Good. Oh.
Oh, you can see the frustration. He's going to be upset. What do you think, Tony?
Oh, yeah.
3.5. Just came into boy 4. Knew he needed that big turn, onside turn, and then just grabbed at the handle way early. Pushed his ski in front of him, and from there you can't really do anything. I'm a little upset for him because this was a fantastic start. You don't get a much better boy 1. At your harder pass, and 1 and 2, little bit of separation from 2 to 3, but he's kind of good, and then just those hips dropping back just a little bit, and watch the hand coming in super early here, not maybe from that angle, but yeah. So his weight when the pull came was way behind his feet, and like I said earlier, really important to keep your weight in the middle of the ski, so that the ski can do as it's designed to, carve all the way through. And of course, when you have the weight in the middle of the ski around the turn, then it is through the wakes, and you can just swing across.
Yes, indeed, and Garrett Carber, just seemed to have got a little bit antsy, even on that second buoy, and just one of those things, I mean, you just
sometimes you want it too much.
Yeah, exactly, like here,
like that. He nearly rode it away. Well, he's a Texan, so he's probably some bull riding somewhere in his past, so he nearly got away with that one.
Yeehaw! All right then, folks. Okay, that concludes that section of the tournament. We're going to go on with our pre-game show for our pros right after this.